What do you do when you're craving senior sisig? It's all the way in the Bay, but you live in Texas. Should I take the next flight to the Bay, or should I just make it at home?
You know what time it is. It's your boy Hammer Vong, and welcome to Hammer Time Cooking. On today's episode, I'm going to teach you how to make a classic Filipino dish called sisig. Stay tuned, and let's get cooking.
Now, this dish was inspired by senior sisig in the Bay Area. I got to try out their food in Oakland, and I've been craving it ever since. Shout out to Sabrina for showing me this hidden gem. Now let's make that OG sisig. We have about 2 pounds of pork. To garnish our pork belly, we're gonna need some green onions, some diced jalapenos, and red onion. We'll also need some garlic, sweet onion, lemons, black pepper, chicken bouillon, some bay leaves, and you gotta use some soy sauce. Let's prep the meat by cutting them into smaller portions. It's really gonna help out when we deep fry our meat. Now we're gonna peel 1 whole onion. It's gonna add some natural sweetness to the stock, and it's gonna flavor the pork. So I have here an 8-quart stock pot. I'll add some water, then throw in our pork belly. Make sure to take your time and throw it in there nice and slowly so it doesn't splash all over the place. Now throw in your aromatics. We'll add our sweet onion, 4 cloves of garlic, 1 tablespoon of black pepper, and some of our yay leaves. Add a tablespoon of chicken bouillon to add some more flavor. Bring the pot to a boil and then let it simmer on medium for an hour. After the hour, your pot should look something like this. We'll remove the pork belly. It's fully cooked and nice and tender. Patience is key when making this dish. So the pork had fun in its jacuzzi, but now it's gonna need a good night's sleep. We wanna draw out any excess moisture from the pork belly, so we'll do this by resting it overnight. Now that our pork is well rested, we'll take a fork and we're gonna get a Wolverine on. We're just gonna shank this fool a few times and it's gonna allow some air bubbles to come through. This is what makes the pork skin nice and crunchy. Make sure to do this to all of your pork belly pieces, and then we'll throw into a deep fryer. So I got this deep fryer through Amazon. Feel free to click the link in the description below if you're looking for a deep fryer. Deep fry the pork bellies at 375 for about 5 to 7 minutes. But honestly, just pay attention to your pork. You don't want to overcook it and you don't want to undercook it where it's not crispy. So you know your pork's ready when it sounds something like this. Now you can hear the crispy crackle of the pork skin. Combine that nice texture with the tenderness of the pork. Now let's elevate the flavors to this pork. Next we'll add in some diced red onions. It's gonna bring in some nice freshness and beautiful color to this dish. Not only that, it helps counterbalance the fattiness of the pork. Add some diced jalapenos for some heat. If jalapeno's too hot, you can also use green bell pepper. Add some freshly cracked black pepper. I'm adding about 1/4 teaspoon. Now for acid, we're gonna add some lemon juice. But traditionally, this is made with calamansi. Drizzle in some soy sauce. I'm eyeballing it, but it feels like a tablespoon. Mix everything thoroughly, that way it's nicely seasoned. Now I'm heating up a hot plate like a fajita. Tossing your sisig into the hot plate. You gotta love that sound of that sizzle. The beauty of the hot plate is it keeps cooking that bottom pork fat, right? So it's gonna get it nice and crispy, and it just adds another layer of texture. Now feel free to adjust any of the seasonings for your personal preference. Now garnish our sisig with some green onions. Top it off with some Thai chilies for that extra heat. Ladies and gents, I present to you sisig. I hope you get to try out this recipe. Now don't forget to hammer that like button, leave a comment, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. Welcome very much, and I'll see you again next time. Mmm.